when you go to the store and you use your credit card, debit card, or Apple Pay, there is a device at the store, like you see in Whole Foods and other places. That device is a complex device, is an expensive device, and it's proprietary. It's almost like a Mission Impossible device because of the security around it. And basically, in simple terms, Magic Cube does to that device what email did to the fax machine, what streaming of Netflix, for example, did to the DVD. That device no longer deserves to exist. $70 billion a year is spent on buying these devices. Now they can be an app on a phone, on a tablet, on a large screen, anywhere in the store. And just to give you an example, in a store where you have one or two of those machines where people have lines to come to it, now they can be in the back pocket of every waiter, or a tablet on each table on the restaurant, or a beautiful large screen where you can swipe and tap and a kitchen gets shipped to your house. So really disrupting a $70 billion industry a year by moving from a fax machine-like device and an email-like device. Pure software versus hardware. Lots of use cases. Let me play one. So in the past, as we all know, you had to actually, if you want to drive a cab, it has to be a certain kind of car, it has to have a certain color, you have to buy a medallion from the city. It's very restricted and very specific. When Uber came out, anybody can be a driver by downloading an app. Similarly here, if you have a fleet of drivers that deliver goods to the home, there's no need for them to buy a specific device. They download on their app and they can become immediately acceptance capable Salesforce of yours. That allows you to do what Uber does. You can surge the number of drivers, the number of waiters in your restaurant. So you can shrink them and surge them based on busy hours, based on the season. So it's really an Uber-like, in that case, ability and flexibility and remote management. Currently, if you want to actually have a driver that takes cards at the door at card present rates, which what merchants want, you have to ship them a device. You have to train them. They can break it, they can steal it, whatever. But now, like an Uber driver, you can download it digitally. You can remotely suspend, resume, or delete, or shrink, or add as you go. So it's really an Uber case like in that case, which is huge. Our customer in Spain, Devilo, is actually signing up a ride-hailing entity that's going to use us for that purpose. The reason we named our product iAccept is to delineate that difference. So when conducting payments, there are two sides of the payments, the payer and the payee, the consumer and the merchant. The instrument that you use as a payer is either a credit card or a wallet, which is just a digitized form of your card. That's not where we're at. We are at the acceptance side, where our technology can accept a payment from a card or an Apple Pay wallet. And it's not just the phone. It could be a tablet, it could be a large smart screen, it could be a car windshield. So all we're doing is really replacing and expanding by removing that specialized device on the merchant side, not the consumer side. That's correct. Perfect. That's for the current product. We might have use cases that are different in the future. I was part of the team that created a lot of the innovations that are now coming to commercialization. And we immediately stumbled on the issue of securing these so they can work well. The intrigue came to me, being an entrepreneur multiple times before that, was that I was told it's impossible to do what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do is get rid of the hardware attachment to anything we do. We had to beg the carriers at some point. We had to beg the device makers. We had to create a lot of things to appease for Apple and Google to work with us. And there was a desire to figure out a software solution. Some would argue that software solution existed. They did, but not at the same level that was desired. When I was told it's impossible, I was lucky enough to hear from Nancy Zayed, our CTO and co-founder, that it is possible. And I think in life, it's very rare where you find a team that knows what a real problem is and how to actually overcome it. So it was impossible to pass on that. We are delighted that we're already seeing deployments, specifically in Europe, because Europe started earlier. Payment Sense in the UK controls 25% of the small and medium businesses already transacting. Devilo soon to transact. So we have really come a long way from proving the concept, getting certified, pushing on the networks to push this out, and now we're seeing commercialization. So people that we spoke to a couple of years ago where the idea was alien are now coming to us, and we literally have daily conversations with many that are thinking now about jumping into doing this. So we're really in a place. The question could be answered in two ways. The technologies that are in the market already that's helping us to grow, and our own technologies as well. So I'll address both. So the technologies in the market that's actually propelling growth for us are contactless payments, the propagation, the continued propagation of mobile devices everywhere, the types of shapes and forms they come in, the power they have. Just go back when I was at Visa, we were talking, people said it's impossible, and I kept looking at my phone. This phone is a powerful supercomputer. I'm sure it can do things. So I think the power on the device as well as contactless are two major things. In our case, our ability to do security in a very new way is propelling us as well. We expect a lot of surprises, which is usually how good innovation works, hopefully. So we are currently not limited to a geography. So just for the purpose of focus, we started where the market starts, where contactless is prevalent. And that's why you see our first customer in the UK, our second one is in Spain. We're already integrating with entities in the US. We haven't announced because it's still too early. But you will probably already, if you're in London, hopefully in the next few months, and you go to a nice restaurant or a bar, you will probably tap your card on a device that's probably a phone or a tablet at the table that's powered by Magic Cube. And if you see Dojo on it or Payment Sense, that's us. So a lot of expectation there. The inflection points we've touched a little bit on. The chip shortage is an inflection point. Apple coming into the market is an inflection point. Contactless being now moved by COVID further is an inflection point. So hopefully that's a good series of inflection points. Well, two issues that always probably always scare people, and I think they scare me at this stage. One is noise, and noise means people are not understanding. It means competitors that claim things that are not true. They may have better salespeople in some areas. So that noise, we have to cut through that noise with marketing, with better product, with better support. And really, that's the biggest concern I have is how do we cut through the noise now that what in the past, what people saying, what is this that you're doing? Now it's like, oh, are you another one that's doing this? Well, no, we're not another one. We do it differently. We're the best. So that part is going to require some execution on our part. Schopenhauer said a long time ago, and I'm paraphrasing, I believe he said talent is to aim for a target that nobody can hit. And genius is to aim for a target no one can see. I'm not claiming any genius here, but when we were pitching this during the seed, I used this to tell people, trust me, because the target is going to come up and you haven't seen it yet. Now the target is up. So it cannot get more exciting. The target we've been talking about is up. And we have really built a lot of muscle to figure out how to aim at it. So now it couldn't get more exciting, actually, in my opinion.